Hi everyone, welcome to Rachel Pichler Yoga. My name is Rachel. Today we are doing a lower body yoga for flexibility practice, and I am going to suggest that you have either a block or a chair or coffee table, something kind of lowish to the ground that can help you balance a little bit today. We're going to have some fun with our stretches. You're just going to need a little bit of space to move, and if you haven't already subscribed to my channel, please do, and let's get started. So let's begin in a nice seated position. If you do have a block of some kind or chair, whatever, just move it off to the side. We'll use it in a little bit. And we're just going to start here by bringing the soles of our feet together and our knees out nice and wide, getting into the hips a little bit here with butterflies. So you can bring your hands behind you, push your fingertips into the mat, find a nice long spine. Take a nice big breath in and out. And you can stay sitting here nice and tall, or maybe you would like to tip forwards a little bit, but just going as far as your upper body falls all on its own without pulling yourself down, hanging onto your feet. And just soften those hips a little bit more. Awesome, you guys. We're going to use an inhale to start to lift back up. If you are tipping forwards, we're just going to be extending the right leg out so the left foot can come towards your inner thigh. Take an inhale, sit nice and tall, start to point your toes up towards the ceiling. Same thing here, you can stay sitting nice and tall, or you can tip it forwards. Again, just falling as far as your upper body goes, all on its own. And just bring all your focus to your breath while we're here. And just see what happens with each stretch. And we're going to use an inhale to lift the upper body back up. And we're just switching sides so the left leg can come out. The right foot can find the inner thigh. Take an inhale, sit tall. Stay here if you'd like, or exhale and tip it forwards. Awesome, you guys. Using an inhale, lifting your upper body back out. We're going to send our right leg back out, just as we were. And we're going to do that again. So you can either have your left foot on your inner thigh, or you can bring your foot on top of your quad. And instead of tipping forwards in this one, well, you can definitely tip forwards in this one if you want to stretch that bottom leg. But let's start flexing the feet. So point your bottom leg, toes up to the ceiling. Point your top leg, toes down to the bottom of your mat. And I'm going to lean back this time, bend my bottom leg, and plant that foot just to get a little bit more into the left glute and hip. And you can walk that bottom leg in as much as you need to find that stretch. And the closer you bring your chest to your leg, the more you're going to feel that. Try to keep that top leg or that top foot flexed. It's just nicer on the knee. Nice job, you guys. And if you did bend the bottom leg in, start to bring it back out. And we're going to keep moving along. So if you find a place where you need to stay, you can stay. We've got a few options here, but we're just going to take this top foot now and bring it nice and close and into that right hip crease if you can get it. And then I kind of want you to just let the shin fall towards the floor. So let your ankle kind of slide down your inner thigh, and you might start to feel a nice stretch through that ankle as you bend the foot a little bit, almost kind of like half lotus. And if it doesn't feel good, either bring your foot back on top or your foot to your inner thigh. But Either way, we're gonna flex this bottom foot, toes pointing straight out, and maybe adding a forward fold to this one, if it feels good to do so. So you might get an ankle stretch, you might not, depending on how nice and tight your ankle is. And just relax. Nice job, you guys. Use an inhale, lifting yourself all the way back up. So let's take that left leg out and send it out all the way long. If you need to do a little shake, you can do a little shake. And we're just going to switch sides. So the right foot, again, either to the inner thigh, if that's what works for you, or on top of the quad. Maybe you'd like to tip forwards. Maybe you would like to lean back a little bit and bring your bottom foot to the ground, bending that knee, flexing that top foot though. Take a moment here. Try to find that right glute. Awesome job, you guys. If you did bend your bottom leg in, send it out. We're going to take this top foot, sliding it into that hip crease, or maybe you're bringing your foot back to your inner thigh, letting the shin kind of slide down towards the floor. Let the ankle slide. Again, we're kind of turning the foot here. So if it doesn't feel right, just come out. Start to point those toes up towards the ceiling. And if you want to fold forwards, you can fold forwards, but only go as far as you need to feel something, whether that's this straight leg or the bent leg. Awesome, you guys. Using an inhale, lift yourself all the way back up. Uncross your legs wherever they happen to be. Bring your feet to the floor. Shake it out a little bit. Maybe do a couple ankle circles if you felt that. We are going to come up to standing next. And because we're working on our flexibility today, that's why I wanted you to have something that can help you balance, because we will be balancing a little bit, but I want to make it a little less about balance and a little bit more about flexibility. So that's my spiel. Come up to standing. I'm using a block, but if you have a chair, it's probably a little bit better actually, or a couch, or I don't know, coffee table, even a wall would be good. Just something to help you balance. So we're going to start by bringing our feet together, and your hands can find your hips. Take an inhale, stand tall. And as you exhale, start to tip forward. So you can bend your knees here. I want you to bring your hands to your block, and we're folding forwards. Sometimes the floor is also a great prop instead of a block or a chair. So if you're able to reach the floor, you can use the floor. But we're going to stand on one foot. So that right foot's going to stay down, and you're just going to start to send the left foot back. And maybe that big toe stays down on the ground. Maybe you can actually hover the foot. But we're just trying to stretch the back of the right leg. So you can let your upper body be heavy, your head be heavy. We're just favoring that right leg right now. Bringing the chest towards the knee. Just as much as you need to find the stretch to the back of the leg. Awesome, you guys. And with that left foot lifted, we're just bringing it back down. Bring it all the way back down. Give the legs a little shake. If you need to come up to standing, you can come up to standing, but we will be switching sides here. So start to take all the weight out of that right foot. Maybe just send it back. You don't have to lift it up into the air. But the head's heavy. Oh, the chest is heavy. You're just trying to find the stretch through that left side now. Hanging on to something to help you balance. Awesome, you guys. Letting that right foot find the ground again. Let's take an inhale and just lift halfway up. And exhale, fold forward, keeping both feet on the floor. And use an inhale to come all the way up to standing. Reach your arms up if you'd like. And exhale your hands through heart center and down to your sides. Okay, we're just going to keep on going. Lift my block up. So we're going to stand on our right foot. And like we were when we were seated, again, hang on to walls, whatever helps you balance here. But we're going to bring our left foot on top of our quad. Okay, and we're going to bend our standing leg. And I want you to think about dropping your chest down towards, again, either a bed, a couch, a block. And we want to drop the chest. We want to flex this top foot. And we want to bend the standing leg to start. And maybe you can find that left glute. Find a nice stretch there. Maybe that standing leg wants to straighten. And you're still bringing your chest down towards your standing knee. Folding forwards. Keep flexing that foot that's crossed over top of your right leg. Nice job, you guys. And use an inhale, start to walk yourself back up to standing. Use whatever you have around you to support you. We're trying to stretch. We're trying to stretch. So shake out the legs. We're going to stay on the right foot. And this time, well, you can cross your foot over top of your quad again. Or if you want to bring your foot to that hip crease, you're going to bring your foot to your hip crease. And you can hang on to that foot so it stays there, maybe with that right hand, maybe with both hands. But we want to take another forward fold if it's available. Again, using whatever you have around you to support you in this balancing position. And this time, well, you could bend the standing leg a little bit, but you might want to straighten it and bring the chest towards the knee. And fold forwards. Awesome, you guys. Let's use an inhale. Walk yourself all the way back up to standing. Let your foot just slide down your leg all the way to the floor. You might be feeling some fire through that standing leg, that glute. That's okay. That's okay. We'll bring the left foot down and then the right foot. We'll start by bringing it on top of the quad and bending that standing leg. So flex this foot. Flex that foot, start to drop the chest. So depending on what you're working with, you don't have to go all the way down. Whatever gives you that nice glute stretch. So we're trying to find the glute. And maybe adding a hamstring for that standing leg if you straighten that leg. And just breathing wherever you are. Nice job, you guys. Slowly inhale, start to walk yourself all the way back up. Slide your leg down, take a little shake. Staying on that right foot. Switching, I was going to say switching sides, but no, not switching sides. Switching positions with the foot if you'd like. On top of that quad or up into that hip crease. So hold that foot there so it doesn't slide out. Start to tip forwards. Find that sweet spot where that foot might be able to stay so that you can just drop your chest. And we're just kind of playing around today, having some fun. Bending that leg a little or finding the length. Just making any adjustments with where your foot is so that it feels good. Nicely done, you guys. Using an inhale, starting to walk yourself all the way back up. And you can slide, uncross, bring your feet to the ground, give your legs a little bit of a shake. So next, I do want to come into a yogi squat. And if you have something that you could potentially sit on, I'm going to recommend you just sit on it today, but if not, just come into the lowest squat that you can come into. So turn your toes out a little bit, feet about mat width apart. I'm going to bring my block just behind me so I can sit on it. So we're going to bend our knees. You might be sitting on a chair. You might be up here sitting on a chair. You might be up here sitting on nothing. You might be able to come nice and low. and just find a nice yogi squat. So just the deepest squat that you can find in the block or whatever it is underneath you. It's just there for some support. Keeping the chest lifted, the knees coming out wide. Take a breath. Awesome, you guys. And using a big inhale, start to stand up. You can lift your hips. You can come all the way up to standing, or if your hands can stay on the ground, we're just going to turn the heels out a little bit so our toes are pointing forwards. Feel free to move whatever you were sitting on in front of you and just take a forward fold. Lengthen the back of the legs. Awesome, you guys. Starting to bend those knees, and you can turn your heels in a little bit. We're just going to come all the way down to seated as gracefully as you are able to do so. And you can bring the soles of your feet back together. We'll end off with one last butterfly. So either the hands behind you, find a nice long spine though, and if you'd like to tip forwards, you can tip forwards. Just find your breath for a moment here. Notice where you feel a stretch through the legs as your feet gently press together. And using an inhale to lift your upper body back up. And you can bring your hands to your knees, helping them come back together. Give yourself a little hug, a little rock. Awesome, you guys. And we can find a nice comfy seat. Maybe lotus is in your practice, or half lotus, and you want to bring one foot in towards the hip creases or both feet. But just take an inhale, sit tall, and you can bring your hands together in front of your heart. Awesome job today, you guys. I hope that you enjoy the rest of your day, and until next time, namaste.